It's been 6 years since the war. After leading the assault on the Arctic Crown, I should have been hailed as a hero. But after the bombs, I knew I wouldn't be welcomed home. I live a more peaceful, quiet life in America now as a free agent. A gun for hire, a bodyguard, you name it, I've done it. Right now I'm charged with protecting the assets of one of the most powerful bananas in the city. This is Pingu.
It's Robbie. The car broke down, so I'm gonna need a lift to Donny Tower.
No problem, I'm on my way now. That's Robbie, one of my closest assets since moving to America. He has connections all over the city's criminal underworld. Whenever there's a job opportunity, he makes sure I'm the first to know. Right now, we're both working asset protection on the main vault in Donny Tower.
The Arctic King sends his regards.
You have one new message.
Hey, it's me, Robbie. Just calling to check in. Might drop by the hospital soon. Donny and I are working to find out who did this to you, but in the meantime we're doubling the security at the tower. We suspect that the
You tell Donny not to do anything. I already know who sent the assassins, and it's none of his concern. Just some old friends. I'll be working at the tower tonight.
I have word from America. General Pingu, he survived the attack. We have no reason to believe he is suspicious of us, but I'm sure his guard is up. We need to plan our next move very carefully. We failed once, we will not be given the opportunity to fail twice. The future of the Arctic Crown rests in our hands.
He should be here any second now. He did tell me he was being let out early from the hospital.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
I'm here, and I need your help. Donnie, I need to borrow every weapon from the tower's arsenal. I'm taking on the Arctic Crown once again.
The wall just got 10 feet taller.
The Arctic Crown? Isn't that the place in the Arctic that the British took over 6 years ago?
After the war, the British annexed the remains of the Arctic Crown. Let me tell you, there wasn't much after we left it. Not a lot of resistance. The locals were just relieved that the fighting was finally over. At least, so I thought for a little bit. I was your average decorated spy, rising through the ranks of MI6. Tensions were rising between the Crown and Great Britain. A defector was all the Queen needed. It was the perfect storm. I gave the British everything I knew about the Arctic Crown's nuclear weapons program, something they've been denying for years. Actual evidence of the bastards testing their nukes. It was enough to go to war over. When the fighting broke out, I was quickly promoted to general, leaving my espionage behind. The British Army quickly stomped the Arctic forces, driving them from their capital. But lo and behold, no sign of nuclear weapons. We knew they were using them, but we couldn't find a single trace of them. The public began to grow wary, and the war soon fell out of favor with the British populace. What once was seen as a noble cause, now it looked as if we fabricated the evidence just as an excuse to nab a bit of land in the Arctic. The war lasted just under a year, but the Crown was ready to give up and I fled to America, knowing I would never be able to show my face to the British ever again.
But the Arctic is still under British occupation. By all accounts, the Arctic Crown shouldn't exist.
Not long after the war, I heard rumors from the Arctic. What little connections there I had left all said the same thing: the Crown is back. But not as a full-scale nation that could go toe-to-toe with British rule, but as a terrorist cell with ties to the international criminal underworld. And then, the incident.
The Arctic King sends his regards.
Well, we've been together for this long in America, I guess I'll be joining you in the Arctic.
I'm glad I can count on you to have my back. How about you, Donnie? Will you join us?
Wrong.
Another happy landing. Robbie, don't you have connections out here? Maybe we can find somewhere to go that won't raise any suspicions?
I know of a place in the village, not too far from here. A guy I know runs this shop. He'll house us there for a little while.
Pingu Ii? Up the stairs, hurry up now. Can't have anyone seeing you two here, bad for business I suppose.
Thanks, John. Before we head up, do you mind telling us what the status is around these parts? Last time I was in town the British had a pretty good hold over the village. Now there's no sight of them.
You left just in time. The Crown has a stranglehold over the village in the nearby city. They send a couple of guys in every morning for supplies. They don't usually check the upstairs, but if they do, you're both dead. Especially you, General Pingu. Last week, the Crown paraded through the streets declaring you dead. Now, here you are. How is that?
A long story not worth recounting. Regardless, I'm here to finish what I started. To me, this war isn't over until every last man soldier under the umbrella of the Arctic Crown is dead. Then, I will rest. must have fallen asleep. What time is it?
Quiet. Do you hear that noise?
Ah, yes, fine soldiers of the crown. What business do you have at this hour of the night?
Just dropped by to pick up our supplies for the day. Sorry to wake you this late, but we couldn't wait until morning. We're being deployed.
Deployed? As in you're leaving the village?
Everyone is. Truth is, the king has no more use for this place. We'll all be moving southward to the city by morning. This stinky hole served us well for a staging ground, but the mayor finally caved. He's officially declared his support for our cause and is allowing us to set up an actual base of operations within the city.
I never thought I'd see the day.
I can't believe how far they've come in only a few months. Sacking villages, retaking large cities, they're actually doing it. They're rebuilding the Arctic crown from the ground up. How? Where did they get all this support from?
Where did they get all of this support from? Are you serious? The crown never lost support. British rule has been beneficial for many of the corporate billionaires, but it's brought nothing but hardship for the average citizen of the Arctic. People liked things the way they were. Even though the crown did horrendous things and had to be stopped, the common man grew surprisingly close to their king. Of all people, I would think you would know this best.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why did you do that?
Let's get to the real reason why we're here. I believe you have something you wanted to give to us before we depart for the city.
I gave you the supplies. What more do you want from?
No more games, no more talking. We know he's here. Bring me him now, or we'll find him ourselves. Bingo. Target spotted.
What? What do you mean?
This man is a known accomplice of the traitor General Pingu. He's been the crown's second most wanted, right next to the disgrace himself. The king will enjoy this one. His head will be paraded through the city streets, signaling to all what happens when you betray the crown. And as for you, John.
And as for me, what? I don't know this seal. Never seen him in my life. He must have snuck in while I was out.
I always did like your stories, John. It was a pleasure doing business with you, as always. The Arctic King sends his regards. The Arctic King sends his regards. Sends his regards. Sends his regards.
The Arctic King sends his regards.
How many more need to die before this war reaches its end? No matter. This will be the last life you take. Robbie, I'm coming for you. The crown dies tomorrow.
Citizens of New Arctica City, I am your king. You are now under the watchful guidance of the Arctic Crown. Your city will prove to be a magnificent staging ground in our efforts to overthrow the British tyranny. Our goal is a simple goal. We are here to wipe the scum from our great Arctic. To do this, we will need the aid of every man, woman, and child. We do not do what we do for fame or glory, we do what we do because it is our destiny. We hope you see it as such.
You will never get away with this.
Drop your weapons, Pingu. Let's chat.
Wait a second, that voice. I recognize it.
The Arctic King sends his regards.
It was you. You're the assassin.
I am the finest assassin in His Majesty's royal forces. I have over 300 confirmed kills, and all of my hits thus far have been a success. And yes, I was the one who was sent to execute you, General Pingu.
Well, consider this your first loss. I lived, bitch.
Oh, but you are mistaken. My orders were not to kill you, General. I did exactly as I was told.
You what? What do you mean?
You will soon learn what happens to those who betray the Arctic crown. Antarctica never forgets those who turn their back on her.
Who are you?
I am Tuxusubuntu, the first of my name. Lifelong penguin of the Arctic, and most importantly, I am your king.
You're not a king, you're a terrorist. The Arctic crown died long ago, and now its ghost has come back to haunt me. But tonight, we finish this. This war will end, and the people of the Arctic will finally be at peace.
All I ever wanted for my people was peace. In the past, we used extreme measures to ensure that the Arctic would be safe for all who call her their home. The British fired the first shot, never forget that. And then you Pingu. You turned your back the crown when she needed you the most. How can you live with yourself? The suffering of our nation falls on your shoulders. You're a disgrace, and you deserve nothing but an unmarked bit leading to the deepest depths of hell.
If you truly believe that, then why haven't you killed me yet? You've had more than enough chances to. Why am I still here?
Because it's simply not my shot to take.
That honor is all mine. Good to finally catch up with you, friend.
Robbie? You're safe. What is this? What's going on?
Sorry I couldn't tell you earlier. But I am the true Arctic King. And after everything you've done to me, it's finally my chance to end your pathetic existence.
Everything I've done to you? How could you say that? Robbie, you were like a brother to me. I've never done anything to you.
Of course you would say that. You don't remember, do you? When you and the British Army sacked the city of New Arctic. That was my home. The soldiers destroyed our land, executed our leaders. My family is dead because of those soldiers. The soldiers you lead, General. And for what reason? Because they took up arms to defend their home from the invaders. You preach about the atrocities committed by the Arctic crown, but have you ever stopped and looked at the atrocities you yourself committed in this very city?
So our entire friendship, everything we've been through. New York City, Donny Tower, it was all a lie? You've been planning this moment for years.
I was a refugee in New York, quickly rising through the ranks of the criminal underworld, building connections across America and the world. At the start, I never planned on this. Hell, I didn't even know if the legendary General Pingu was still alive after being exiled from Britain. But when you washed up in New York, I knew it was fate. After a loan or two from Donny, I established the next chapter of the Arctic crown, and I would be their king.
Donny was in on this plot.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
It stings, doesn't it? When those we hold close betray us.
Look, I'm sorry for what happened to you. People like you are the reason why this war needs to end now. Let the past be in the past. Don't you see that every second you prolong this meaningless war, there are thousands of more people that fall into situations like yours?
You want me to give up? And let the British go back to oppressing my people? Not likely.
I see you can't be reasoned with. Very well. Let's finish this. Here and now.
I wouldn't want it any other way. Boys, clear out. It's time for the Arctic crown to be restored to its former glory. My fucking arm. It's gone.
You put up a good fight.
Pingu, please. Please kill me. I don't think I can go on like this.
And who am I to kill a king?
This isn't over, Pingu. With or without me, my movement is as strong as it ever was. The cities we will hold forever. And one day, we will fight again. When that day comes, one of us will finally give out. I advise you to start readying for that moment now, Pingu. I won't be pulling any punches next time we meet.